Hey everyone, it is Tammy from Walk the Happy Road. I hope you all are having a great day today, and I thought that I would share some ghostly stories with all of you today, considering that it is Halloween. I don't know if any of you out there believe in ghosts or have seen ghosts or have had any paranormal experiences, whereas I do believe in ghosts and I have had paranormal experiences, and I've seen two ghosts in my lifetime. And there definitely is a ghostly presence in this house that my husband and I live in for 18 years, and that presence is still ongoing. I'm not afraid of ghosts. It actually intrigues me to the fullest because those are souls or spirits that can access our third dimensional reality here and make their presence be known, whether it's by moving things or making sounds or showing a vision of themselves. I find it quite fascinating. And it makes me question as to what happens after we depart this plane, because those souls can obviously come into our reality and make themselves known. So, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to share some quick stories here with you of what I have experienced. In some of the last 49 years of life that I've lived on this plane here. So the first time I saw a ghost, I was in my early 20s, living on the 17th floor of a condominium. It was in my bedroom, and it was definitely a young man, probably early to mid 20s. He was very fair complexion, brush cut, and an army cap on, army or naval officer for sure. He had on the buttoned shirt buttoned right up to the neck, and his vision was seen on top of my mirror, and it sat there for quite some time, probably 3-4 minutes, and then faded slowly away. The second time I saw a ghost was in my house that I'm currently living in here now with Kevin, and I was in my early 40s. It was about 3 o'clock in the morning. I had gotten up to use the washroom, and I was actually sitting in the washroom. The door was open, and I can have a clear view to the kitchen because our home is open concept. And that is where I saw him again. It was the same ghost, naval uniform, but this time I could see clear right down, probably to the hips. The hat on, the short hair, fair complexion, probably about 6 foot. And when I saw him at that hour of the morning, he was walking straight from one side of the kitchen to the other, but his head was turned a complete sideways while he walked and stared at me. I jumped up off the toilet actually and ran into the kitchen and started opening up cupboards and just looking around, totally bewildered. My husband came out, and by the look on my face, he knew exactly what I had seen. So that was quite fascinating. One of the experiences that I had that stands out in my mind is I was making dinner one night and I wanted to make some fish. So I took some frozen fish out of the freezer, put the package on the cutting board, opened up the package, and then turned around, went back into the fridge to get some more items to prepare dinner. And when I turned back around and looked at the cutting board, two pieces of fish were out of the package and sitting in the sink. So that was pretty cool. One time I was in my bedroom, and there was this sound. You know the sound that that a Christmas bulb makes when it's breaking? That is the sound, but with that was this spark of light, kind of like a little mini firework that went off. It was in about 2 feet from my patio door, and it was like poof, and it was like this bright light, and these little sparks came off of it with the sound of the Christmas bulb breaking. So that was pretty cool. One of the coolest things that happened for so many years, too many to count actually, is the movement of our bed in our bedroom. Every morning we would wake up and the bed will have moved from the back wall. It became automatic for my husband Kevin. As soon as he woke up in the morning, he would go like this, and he would put his hand back to see how far away the wall the wall was. And actually, we woke up one morning and our bed was not in the spot where it usually sits. It was like more in the middle of our bedroom, and it was like turned sideways with us on it. And what we did after that was we actually got on the bed and we like really started to wrestle, and we really started to like play fight and things like that to see if we could even move this bed, and it didn't move an inch. Another thing that happened was that I have a double entrance coming into this house, and on the second door I hung this really cute little chime. It was like a sailboat, and it had like the little silver things that hang down, ding 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 ding, so it would sound like really really pretty when people would walk in. And so I was washing the dishes one day, and you can lean over and you can look down the staircase, and you can see that door at the bottom if you lean over far enough. So as I was doing the dishes, I heard the door handle, and then I heard ding 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 ding. Then I heard step, and then thud, like somebody stepped and put down like a big heavy box. And then I heard the step, and then ding 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 ding, and then the door again. So what I did was I leaned over and I'm like, hello, Kevin, are you there? William? Nobody answered. And it wasn't unnatural for me to experience things in the house, so I'm like, oh well, I guess that was just the ghost. So that was one thing that happened. This past summer, my sister Trina was here for a week's vacation, and my husband was outside, and I was gardening. It was a beautiful, beautiful summer day in August. And we were having a conversation about our take on life. What do we think it's all about? Like, who are we really? And do we believe in reincarnation? And what do we think happens when we die? And we were having a fairly in-depth philosophical talk about life. I was leaned over at the garden doing some gardening, and my husband had his banjo outside. He had been playing it about a couple of hours prior to us having this conversation, and it was just sitting on the table. Nobody was near the banjo, but during the conversation, we clearly heard a note being played on that banjo. It bewildered my sister, and they both looked at each other and was like, hey, what the heck was that? But again, it didn't frighten my husband and I, because we're used to strange things happening in this house for quite some time now, and that just happened in the summertime, so that's just another thing to put on the list of things. When we were building this third story addition that I'm sitting in right now, when we would go to bed at nighttime, we could hear all kinds of noise up here, unexplainable noises, tools and heavy things that were being dragged across the floor. This went on, oh, for a long, long time, until the tools and the addition were complete and the tools got moved downstairs into the shop. So that's another thing that happened. I could go on and on with many stories of strange experiences in this house. Some people say that they would like run for the hills if they lived in this house and they could never ever stay here. But you know what? It doesn't frighten me one little bit. This entity or this ghost or ghosts that are making their presence known in this house, it doesn't scare me. It actually intrigues me, and I'm very, very intrigued how they can come into our dimension and how we can experience them. And I find it fascinating to know that there is more that goes on after we die, because I have experienced this myself, and you have to believe what you see with your eyes and what you hear with your ears. And I've had things go flying across the room and hit windows. There's been lots of things happen here, but I encourage everybody to post videos on YouTube to give your advice on tips on life, or tell a ghost story if you've experienced something that's ghostly, and just share your life, and maybe some people can learn from you. And I find it's a lot of fun, and it's better than watching the television, because that is a total mind waster, total waste of time, and will dumb you down to no end. We don't watch television here at all. It sours my soul, you could say. It's like heavy, heavy static, and I can't have it on. I refuse to put it on unless it's a really, really good documentary, and if it aligns with the goodness and I get something out of it, then I might watch it. But usually there isn't anything on but a bunch of fluff, and I don't really have time for that. So that's why I do this. So I hope everybody's having a good night. Share your stories if you got them. And everybody take care and happy Halloween. Ciao for now. Bye bye.